Hello, 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 everybody, and welcome to the Coaching Corner. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is Tuesday, one of my favorite days of the week because I get to come on and talk with all of you. For those of you who are new to the Coaching Corner, I am Jamila, aka the IEP Coach. I am the founder and CEO of the IEP Coach LLC, and we support schools with their special education systems. So we help new schools build their special education systems, and we help current schools in operation fix their broken special education systems. Okay, so we are heavy on making sure special education systems are created with fidelity and they are and they work efficiently. And some schools, hey, they have broken special education systems, which is why their special education department is not running how it should. So we come in and we either build the system for you in your school, or we work alongside your SPED leader to help you fix those systems and make sure everyone on the team is trained on those systems. So that way, no matter who comes to your school, no one person is leaving with all of the information. All right. So that's a little bit about what we do at the IEP Coach. All right. And we talk about all things special education every Tuesday here on the Coaching Corner. And tonight's topic is the audit your SPED team doesn't want to do, but needs to. Ooh, make sure you share out this live with as many people. Share it out with your school leader, share it out with your SPED team, share it out with your gen ed team. Share out this live. And as I'm telling you to share it out, I am sharing it out as well. Also, feel free to drop your questions as they come to you, because we will answer the questions live here on the live. Okay. And no question is too little or too big or too small. Go ahead and ask your question. And as you are coming in, let me know where you are tuning in from. All right. Let me know where you are tuning in from. Drop your city in the comment section. All right. So let me go ahead and share out this live. All right, here's the live. And we are going live on our... Oops. Let me know where you are. Here we go. We are going live on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and LinkedIn. And also, I already said TikTok, yes. And also, we're going live on our LinkedIn page as well. Wait, I think I did that wrong. Here we go. There we go. Now I can share it out. What? Here we go. Here we go. Tune in now. All right, so let's go ahead and jump right on in. Welcome everyone who is tuned in. Welcome. And again, drop in the comments where you're tuning in from. Got tongue tied real quick. All right. So tonight's topic, the audit your SPED team doesn't want to do but needs to do. All right. So listen, last week we talked about the C.O.R.E system. So we talked about the framework that we use when we are working with the schools that we support. So C.O.R.E, C-O-R-E. C.O.R.E is C is for clarity, O is for organization, R is for review, and E is for execution. Okay, so those are the four parts of C.O.R.E. And tonight we're going to go we're going to go deeper into the C, the core. Okay, we're going to go a little bit deeper into that, because if you skip clarity, you're going to have to come back, kind of do double back and do double work, and it's going to cost you more money if you skip clarity in your school. Okay. All right, so you always start with clarity. And why? You need to know what you are working with in your school. You really need to know what am I working with? Like, what is the state that my SPED department is in? What's the state that my school is in? Like, where are we? Where are our gaps? Where are we strong at? You need to know that information. And that's what clarity does for you. It gives you that information. Okay. Now, so The reason most SPED departments walk into August already behind is because they skipped the clarity part. Okay, now let me tell you why some schools will skip the clarity part. Is because, okay, let me tell you why, because I don't want you to skip it too. Okay, they skip it. They go in, it's like, okay, well, I already know what my school needs. We need this, we need that. Oh, we need to, they skip clarity and want to go straight to organization. Okay, we need more training, we need more this. And it's like, training on what? You're not even clear on what your staff needs training on. And they may just say, well, just help me build this. I just need you to build the system for me. Or I just need you to help me build the system. But I'm like, what system are we building? We're not going to know what system we're building if we don't have the clarity. Now, a lot of times this clarity gets skipped because leaders have to really be honest with themselves and really look at and name what is the cause of the problems in my school. So it's uncomfortable for them. Okay? It reveals the gaps in your school. And that makes you uncomfortable because you have to see and admit to yourself, hey, this is where we dropped the ball. This is where we are not performing our best. And you got to be honest with yourself with that. Okay? Then you got to be honest about who has ownership of that. Who was supposed to keep track of that or stay on top of that? Ultimately, it goes back to you as the leader, but who did you have in place to ensure that this system was working or this system was in place? You have to be honest about that. Okay? And it makes you check your leadership. Like, hey, am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing as a leader and leading my school and leading my whole school? Okay? Now, saying, oh, we tried our best versus we did what needed to be done, that's not the same thing. That's not the same. Okay? It causes you to look at, hey, was I having surface conversations with my team and not really getting down to the root cause of whatever issues they were facing? Okay? Clarity forces you to do that. Now, when schools skip the clarity, it costs them a lot because, one, you're fixing symptoms instead of fixing the actual problem. You're putting a Band-Aid on it instead of giving it the medicine it needs for it to go away. Okay? You have the same problems every single year when you ignore clarity, when you skip the clarity part. Same problems every single year. And then you're going to have your teachers who get burnt out because you're relying on the same teachers all the time. All the time. And then you don't know why they're burning out. You may just say, hey, they're just working hard. No, it's beyond working hard. They're overworked, but you don't know specifically why they are burning out. Okay? And then compliance, you're going to have compliance issue, and that will rot away at your SPED department. Okay? It's going to rot at it. It's going to rot to the point you get a due process. You get into due process, or you get a complaint from a parent. Better yet, a complaint from their lawyer. That's what skipping clarity will cost you at your school. Okay? Now, clarity is not a blame thing. Clarity helps you diagnose what's the problem. Okay? You can't treat a patient if you don't examine them. Examine them. Look at clarity as examining your whole school, examining your SPED department. Okay? That's the only way you'll find out what the issues are. You can't lead through something that you refuse to look at. Okay? You can't pretend it's not there, or you just dreading it like, oh my God, I don't want to look at this. Da, da, da. No, you can't. It's not going to work. Okay? So let me walk you through 4 areas you should audit now and look at now, so that way you can come up with, we can support you with a plan on how to correct those gaps from the audits that you're going to do. Okay? Now the 4 areas are your IEP timeline. Okay? caseloads, your data collection, and your team health. Okay, so again, the systems that I want you to audit right now, the 4 systems I want you to audit right now are your caseload, your your caseload, your IEP timelines, your data collection, and your team health. So your team, these are your teachers, your team health. Okay, so first let's go through the IEP timeline. This is the first thing you want to audit. So you want to look at one thing you could do. Now, this is going to take you a minute. I want you to pull every single IEP your team completed last year. Okay? Look at the actual timeline data of that IEP. Was it done on time? Did they send the invitation to the parent on time? Which IEPs weren't done on time? Which were in compliance? Which were not in compliance? Which were annual reviews? Were there any reevaluations? Like, these are things I want you to look at. Was the IEP done the same time as it was last year? Same with the, was the IEP done the same as last year? Were any IEPs amended? Meaning, were any IEPs changed? Like, certain sections had to get changed. Okay? All right. Looking at your progress reports, were they done on time? Did they actually show progress? Like, did they show data, a chart of data with an explanation of the data? Did they show consistency of data points and then an explanation of that data? That's what you want to look for. Okay? Did you have any parent complaints last year? Did you have any escalations that escalated to perhaps litigation getting involved or advocate getting involved? This is what it means when we say clarity. You're really looking at everything. Okay? Because this can help you catch huge red flags. Like, if dates were missed, that's a huge red flag for you that you can see right now, and that's something, hey, you got to work on that. Hey, that's the first thing you need to fix when you get back into the school. Okay? Now, going through these timelines, it can also help you see if there's a particular team member, a teacher who is perhaps it could be the same teacher who is always having the missed dates. It could be the same teacher who is not sending things out on time. It could be the teacher who got a complaint. Like, doing the clarity, that can help you see which of your team members need more support than others. Okay? That's what clarity can do. All right? All right. All right, now let's go to the second system you're going to audit, your caseload, all right? So you want to look at your caseload distribution, meaning, okay, you have your number of students in that receive special education services. You have your number of special education teachers. How are you dividing your special education population across the special education teachers that you have? Okay? So you want to look at the number of students per case manager, because you may find out, hey, this teacher has a lot more than the other teachers, and that's not fair. You want to make sure that who has behavior plans on their caseload, who has active reevaluations on their caseload, who are in progress, any parent advocate cases, related services coordination cases, like who has the related services on their caseload, which students have related services, any transitions in this year, any students transition out this year, any new students who are new to the district. They may have come from out of state or something like that, because you want to have an even distribution of students across the caseload for your teachers, because you don't want to have one teacher who has 20. I remember one year I remember me and my teacher partner, we had like 24 and 25. She had like 25, I had 24, and then there was a teacher that had 13. Like that is a huge discrepancy. Like how this person get 13, but we over here with 24 and 25. That's not fair. You know what I mean? Had our leader, had our administrator looked at did an audit of the caseload, they would have seen that. And I remember it took the assistant principal to bring it to the principal's attention because she saw the discrepancy. Okay? So you want to audit that. Now, the question you might be asking, like, okay, well, who's doing the invisible work? Like, who's answering those parent calls? Who's doing the coordinating with the related service providers? Like, these are like silent things that the case manager does that you have no idea. Okay? There could be a teacher that has a 20-kid caseload. They got 6 behavior plans. They got 3 active advocacy, what's the word I'm looking for? Advocacy families, on their caseload. You can have somebody who got 25. You know what I mean? This helps you really see. Now, your strongest SPED, and this will help you see that your strongest special education teacher is probably absorbing the most of that caseload because you're like, well, you know what? They're a strong teacher. I know it's going to be right. I know they're going to do it, but you are gradually wearing that teacher down to the point they will quietly quit. Okay? Auditing your caseload helps you see this too. You can see how, excuse me, certain teachers have more kids on their caseload versus others. And they might have said something to you, or they may have not. Okay? But they don't complain much because they're just like, okay, they're going to do it. But you're going to slowly drain that teacher. Okay? So this is why you need to do a caseload audit. All right. Now, the next audit you need to do, number 3, is the data collection. Oh my gosh. When I tell you data collection, it is so important because you need to look at, okay, there are 3 questions you need to ask yourself when you're looking at your data. What data did we actually collect? Not like, oh, we planned on doing this. No, what data did we actually collect? Okay. How did that data get tracked? How often did that data get tracked? What was used to track that data? Okay? Are we missing any data? All right? What decisions did we make based off the data we had? Was there any data that told us nothing? Okay? This helps you look. This will help you see if you are tracking data just to check off a box to say that you got it done. Okay? You have to track your data with fidelity, meaning you have to have a streamlined system. What's going to be used for tracking your data? How often is it going to be tracked? Also, you got to make sure there's time for your teachers to analyze that data because that helps you to make the data-driven decisions. That helps you to see if there are patterns going on. Okay? Now, a lot of times data collection happens in bursts, like schools want to do it quickly. Oh, we're about to have report cards, or it's almost progress monitoring time. Oh, we're about to have state testing. You know what I mean? No, data collection needs to be happening consistently. When I was in the class, I collected data every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks, I was collecting data. So across a report card period, I would have a minimum of 4 data points. Okay? If you're tracking behavior, same thing. Like you have to consistently track it so you can see the patterns, where you may need to intervene and where you can pull back. What areas of behavior you don't need to track anymore. Okay? The data that gets collected, majority of the time, the data that's getting collected consistently is one teacher doing it. Maybe 1 or 2 teachers doing it. Everybody else is inconsistent. Okay? This is how you get weak data. This is how you get weak IEPs. And this is how you end up with a lawsuit. Okay? So you gotta audit your data collection. Now, the last one, audit your team health. And you may be like, auditing my team health? Like what? Yes, audit your team health. This is how you can see the warning signs of your team. This is how you can see like who's gone quiet, who normally wasn't quiet, who used to be engaged, who's showing up late, leaving early when they normally didn't do that, who is not saying too much in the meetings anymore when they used to say a lot. You know, respectfully share and engage. Whose paperwork is starting to come up late, wasn't late before. Like who stopped asking for feedback? Like who is the, like who's just saying, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. Which teacher is doing that? Okay, now, and for you leaders, these are the questions. This is why you need to audit your team's health. The teacher you should never assume that's okay is the one that you consider your strongest teacher. Don't assume they are always okay. They are not. They are not. So do not assume they okay. The one you rely on the most, that's the one that probably doesn't really complain. They will quietly quit. Okay? So this is why you have to audit your team's health, because they're not going to be asking for help. They don't ask for help before they quit. They quietly quit. They check out first. They quietly check out first and before they quit. Okay? So what you can do is have like stay conversations with your team. You know how you have exit interviews when someone's leaving? Have a stay conversation. All right? Have like a real 20-minute conversation with them. Ask questions and listen. Don't ask questions to respond. So, hey, ask them, hey, what's working? What's overwhelming you right now? What do you need that you don't have? And listen. And then if any other questions come to you, ask. Ask. Don't defend. Don't try to fix it there. Listen. Having stay conversations will save your team and keep them from quitting, because you're actually getting it straight from the horse's mouth. What's the issue? Okay? Now, you collected all this data. Hey, what to do with what you find? What are you going to do? Here are 3 things I want you to do this week. I want you to write it down. Write it down. Don't keep it in your head. Write it down on paper. If it's not documented, it didn't happen. Okay? And prioritize just one of the gaps. Prioritize one of them. Okay? And then decide, how can you fix that? How can you support that? So true. Yes. Yes, so true. All right? So, write it all down, document it, prioritize one of the gaps, and then look at, okay, how can you change that? How can you fix that? How can you offer support there? Okay? All right. Now, I'm going into all this because this is what we actually build in the SPED Summer Reset. We do this together. We build out the 5 different systems across the 5 days, starting August the 24th through August 28th. And they're live. It's not already recorded and then you got to go and watch it. No, we are doing this live. Each night is a different pillar of core. Well, excuse me, everything is embedded in our core, but each night we're doing a different system. We start with our foundation in our organization. Then day 2, we go into IEP system, right? IEP writing system. Day 3, we go into IEP meeting system. Day 4, we do data collection system. And day 5, we're teaching you how to use AI safely and ethically in special education. All right? So listen, if that sounds like, hey, this is for our new SPED teachers in years 1 through 5 and new SPED leaders, because you can benefit from this too. This can help you with your systems too. If this sounds like, hey, this is for me, I need this. I don't want to go another year scrambling and surviving. I want to have my systems together. So next year, all I'm doing is just revitalizing them and updating them. If this sounds like this is for you, Enroll in the SPED Summer Reset. I'm dropping the link right now because the doors are open. I am dropping the link right now. Doors are open. Okay? The doors are open for the SPED Summer Reset. Okay? Take advantage. Take advantage. 5 live days. 5 live days, and we do Q&A each day, and they record it. You have access to the replay. If you miss some of it or you miss something, you have access to the replay when you enroll. We got general admissions for just anyone. New SPED teacher. We have the general admissions. VIP. You want more one-to-one attention? We have that for you. And you get 3. You get everything general admissions, which is you get your workbook. You get your AI prompt library, which we make for you. And you get your live Q&A. In addition to that, you get 3 30-minute one-to-one coaching calls with yours truly. So we can specifically focus on what you need. And then for our schools, we have our school team license. You can get your school, your department in. That's up to 7 teachers. You get your own school WhatsApp chat, your private chat. You get priority with your questions getting asked first, and we do a debriefing with your school. And that is our school team license. So you get to use your IDEA money. You get to use your Title I money, your Title II money. Your Title II money. You get to use your ESSER money. You get to use your PD budget money for this. This qualifies. All right? Listen, you don't got to come out if you're a teacher on here viewing this tonight, you don't got to come out your pockets. Get your school to pay. They have it in their budget. They have line items in their budget. All right? So take advantage. I'm going to drop the link again. The SPED Summer Reset is open. The SPED Summer Reset is open. So make sure you enroll. IG, the link is pinned. TikTok, the link is in our bio. Okay? Take advantage. All right. All right. Now, do we have any questions? Do we have any questions? I know it takes you a minute to type out your questions. Let me know if you have any questions. Put them in the chat. Any questions? And it's fine if the questions come to you later. That is okay. You can DM us the question and we'll respond to you. We're very responsive, okay? So again, the SPED Summer Reset is open. The link was dropped. And I just want you to remember this. You can't lead through anything that you refuse to look at. You have to look at the state of your department, the state of whatever it is you're doing. You got to look at the state of it to really see, okay, what are we doing good at? Where are our gaps? And correct those gaps and fill in those gaps. And that's what clarity helps you do. All right. All right. So next week, we're going to go into more of the organization and a review deeper. Until then, the Summer Reset is open. Share it with your networks. Share it out with your schools. Share it with your administrators. Okay? It is open. We are here for you. Okay? It's going to be 5 days, August the 24th through the 28th. All right? All right. So I don't see any questions. So please remember to take care of yourselves. When you push past capacity, that's when you get burnt out. And that is not what we want. Be kind to yourself. And give yourself grace. Be safe. And we will see you next week, Tuesday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Peace.